Welcome back to the SOS 20-week live challenge. I'm Dr. Lori Smith, former federal contracting officer, CEO of Elegant LLC, and founder of Sonar Seas Empowerment. And every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we are here. One topic, one teaching moment, and one shift that can change how your business operates. So if you're just joining us, here's what you need to know is that I spent over 40 years on the other side of the table, managing more than $143 billion in federal contracts, evaluating businesses, scoring proposals, and watching who wins and why. And this challenge takes everything that I've learned and puts it directly in your hands. Now, this is week 4 of 20. And so last week, we talked about why you are busy but not scalable. And if you missed it, please go back and watch the replay because every week builds on the one before. Now, today we're getting into something critical as well. When you think you need more clients. So, let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to challenge a belief today that a lot of you hold, very tightly. You think your business problem is that you don't have enough clients. You think if you just had one more customer, more contracts, more leads coming through the door, everything would be fine. I want to show you why. In many cases, that belief is exactly backward. More clients without the right structure doesn't solve your problem. It multiplies it. Because the real problem is, and what I've seen is that I've watched businesses win contracts, they weren't ready for it. And it is one of the most painful things to witness because they fought so hard, to get to that yes. And then the yes destroys them. They couldn't staff up fast enough. Their quality control broke down. Their delivery timeline slipped. And suddenly, the client who was supposed to be their big break became their biggest nightmare. And also a reference that they can never use again. So the problem wasn't that they got the client. The problem is that they got the client before they built the infrastructure to serve the client at the level that was required. So I want you to type truth if you've ever won business and then quietly panic about whether you could actually, deliver it. Because the truth is, the right question is not how do I get more clients? The right question is, am I built to serve the clients I'm targeting at the level they require? Because more clients entering a broken system just means more broken outcomes at a higher volume. So the most successful businesses that I've seen, they really don't obsess over lead generation first. They obsess over, client experience, the delivery excellence, and retention first. Because a business that keeps its clients and gets referrals from them grows exponentially with far less effort than one that's constantly chasing, new ones. So here's what to focus on before you pour money into lead generation. First, I want you to calculate your client lifetime value, not just your initial contract value. Most businesses think in terms of the first sale, but the most profitable businesses, they think in terms of how much is a client worth to me over 2, 3, 5 years if I serve them well, because that map changes your entire strategy. Suddenly retention and upsell paths become, more valuable than the acquisition. So if you don't know your client's lifetime value, you don't know what a client is actually worth. And you can't make smart decisions about where to invest. Second, I want you to identify what's causing your current clients to leave or not return. Before you get new clients, understand why existing ones don't stay. Is your onboarding unclear? Is your communication inconsistent? Is your delivery, just not meeting, their expectation? This is data you already have access to. You just have to be willing to look at it honestly. Fix the leaks before you turn on the faucet. And then third, I want you to build a referral pathway before you build a marketing campaign. Word of mouth is not accidental. The best contractors I've worked with, had deliberate referral programs or referral processes. They asked at the right moment. They made it easy. They stayed in contact. A structured referral program built on excellent service will outperform most paid marketing campaigns and cost you far less. Now, what I want you to do is share this live. If you know a business owner, who keeps, pushing for more clients, but is struggling with the ones, they already have. This might be the conversation, they need today. So we've talked about client strategy, retention, and the right growth sequencing inside the SOS community, because growth isn't just about volume. It's, about sustainable, profitable, repeatable growth. That's really what it's about. So if you're not in the group yet, just drop clients in the comment or just search out our Facebook group on Facebook, SOS community. And if you're serious about building that kind of business, the conversions really is where we map it out in real time. So more clients is not your answer. Better infrastructure, better delivery, better retention. Now that's your answer. Once those are in place, then the yes, get more, you go get more clients because now you're ready. So that's week 4 of the SOS 20-week live challenge. If today's conversation hit home, do 3 things for me right now. 1, share this live with somebody who needs to hear it. Who exactly, who came in mind, as you was listening or while I was talking, just tag them. Then I want you to send them, the replay, because this is the kind of teaching that doesn't stay, available forever. So please share it. 2, if you're not already in the SOS community, do drop in, put SOS in the comments and we'll make sure we get you, admitted. And because that's where the real conversations continue between these lives. I share resources, there's accountability, there's direct access. And so it's all there. And so 3, mark your calendar for the SOS conversions. It's 8 through 12 October in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And everything we're building on in these 20 weeks, it really do come together in that room. So if you're serious about what's next for your business, and that's where it all happens. So again, I'm Dr. Lori Smith. Same time next Wednesday, we're just talking about why the hustle that got you here won't get you where you're going. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you next Wednesday, same time, same place. And I would always like to share, readiness protects what your ambition pursues. So build what holds the opportunity and what holds you. Bye-bye. I'll see y'all later.